New West Virginia law requiring photo ID at polling places greets voters in primary election. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Charleston W.Va Act, presenting a utility bill as a valid form of identification at a voting precinct in West Virginia, has gone the way of the tavern polling place and the punch card ballot. State lawmakers tightened an existing voter identification law by requiring photo ID at the polls, with some exceptions. The law was used for the first time in Tuesday's primary election, and officials said they've seen very few glitches. The whole point of the law is just making sure you are who you say you are, Secretary of State Kris Warner said Monday. Voters were nominating candidates for U.S. Senate, U.S. House and state legislature. They also will elect 2 new state Supreme Court justices. During the in-person early voting period that ended Saturday, Warner said his office hadn't heard of anyone who demanded to vote without a photo ID. He said the state had asked residents to use photo ID for the past few elections, so it was not a big shock that it was now law. Many voters took the change in stride, although some were concerned it could lead to voter suppression. "I think it's harmful," said Tina Scaler, a 60-year-old nurse from Cross Lanes. "I think it's discriminatory. Takes us back decades." Proponents say the law will cut down on voter fraud and that photo ID is already required for everyday tasks such as getting on an airplane or buying alcohol. Read more. Scaler said she doesn't view illegal voting as a widespread issue. They're trying to portray it as a good thing to get after voter fraud, which isn't really happening, she said. And what actually is going to happen is going to interfere with women's ability to vote. John Query, a 37-year-old brewery general manager and registered Democrat, brought his 2 stepsons to vote at a polling place near the state capitol in Charleston, showing his ID in compliance with the new law. "I understand it's prohibitive to some," he said. "I wouldn't prefer it that way." During his statewide travels over the past 2 weeks, Warner said he was told of some instances where people returned to their vehicle to retrieve a photo ID after entering a polling place. Another voter used an exception to the law by filling out a form that was